Oh, shit.
So you want to hear the audio of Neil Cavuto disparaging Caitlyn Jenner?
Yeah, all right.
All right, check this out.
Leaving his male identity behind with Caitlyn. I mean, he figured out an interesting way to spell it, right, Neil? Caitlyn. And Bruce, now Caitlyn says this is part of the transitioning, leaving that male identity behind. We'll use female pronouns from now on, but it isn't what about the outfit? It's a white satin corset. Very Playboy Bunny-esque, is it not, Neil?
I wouldn't know, but thank you for that.
Listen, Annie Leibovitz took the photograph. If you're going to unveil yourself as a woman, I mean, you can't really get any better than that.
You can't. No, Dagan, you certainly can't. Look at the time. Dave, thank you very, very much.
What? He looks hot. She looks hot, rather.
Yes, okay. Now on to Charlene Payne, or shall I say Charles Payne? Charles Payne. All right, what do you make of all that?
It's the era that we're living in, right?
It is. Yeah. Rome, final days. But that's fine.
Yeah.
So people had problems with that.
Nothing wrong with that at all.
No, not at all.
Nothing wrong with that.
But everybody was outraged.
Yeah. Nothing wrong with that. That's, the stupidity of that chick's logic, though. Does she really think that fucking Bruce Jenner planned this out fucking the night before?
No, not at all.
That whole logic of, well, if anybody could take Kim Kardashian off the fucking media top, shut up.
I think she was just trying to be conversational, if you will.
Yeah, she needed to take the fucking bite of whatever she was eating out of her mouth.
Helen Kilcaller, you're on the air.
Isn't it funny? The article you actually read attributed most of those comments to Neil, and it turns out he didn't actually say half.
Yeah, it was the chick who said most of those things.
Yeah. And just so she knows, Caitlyn is actually the traditional Irish spelling.
Yeah, well, we didn't say she was smart.
That's true. She's on Fox after all.
Well, not that I would know. I don't watch it.
Of course you wouldn't.
I don't. I swear. I do not. I don't even have
you like your fringy blogs.
Yeah, exactly. I get all my news where it's real. Al Jazeera.
and the Illuminati theorists.
Yeah, well, Alex Jones makes a lot of points. You guys laughed 5 years ago when he said about Monsanto. Now look, now you can't even sue those cocksuckers.
Shit, I laughed 10 years ago when he said the government can control the weather patterns and cause hurricane Katrina.
Hey, don't be trying to play off that HARP doesn't exist.
That's why you're on rimshot AM signals that now have no listeners.
Come on, Alex is huge. He's the biggest fish in a tiny.
He's the biggest fish in somebody's swimming pool.
That's right.
Fuck you, pal.
All right.
Hilarious.
Well, getting back to this whole agenda thing.
All right.
And I'm going to applaud this high school for doing this.
Okay.
Because they had the foresight and the wherewithal to say enough's enough.
Okay.
And I don't mean chips enough.
Yeah.
A Colorado senior, Evan Young, was a model student. Okay. He finished his high school career. I love that. High school career. A career.
Isn't a career something you choose?
Yeah, it's a high school career.
Oh, okay.
This goes back to like Uncle Buck.
Right.
Remember the movie Uncle Buck?
Yeah.
She doesn't take her academic career seriously.
Yeah, man.
Career.
Right.
With an impressive 4.5 GPA.
Right.
When did GPAs go above 4?
I think because they give the pluses now.
Okay, because I remember if you had a 4.0, that was like the top.
That was like straight A's, but now because they give A pluses, I think they have to give like some kind of percentage.
Okay, I wasn't aware of that, so I'm just going to take your word for it. But I thought 4.0 was the top.
Oh, would you get with the 20th century?
I guess I'm just going to have to update. So it was impressive 4.5 GPA and a scholarship to Rutgers University.
Okay.
He was named Twin Peaks Charter Academy High School Valedictorian.
All right.
Okay, good for him.
Good job.
So all this was all academic driven.
Okay.
Because of his achievements in academia.
Okay.
All right. But when school officials read a draft of his graduate speech,
yes,
a customary honor given to the highest achiever, they opted to silence the student.
All right. Why?
Well, that's what we're going to get to. Hail and kill caller, you're on the air.
I should just stay on the line to clear up the fucking confusion. They give you, it goes above 4.0 if you take advanced placement classes.
Okay, well, being that I'm old man Neeley now, 4.0 used to be like the top tier. That used to be the benchmark, 4.0. So I guess now they've expanded that to above 4.0.
I didn't know it went as high as 4.5, but yeah, I graduated in 98, and there was a couple of kids that had like 4.2.
Okay, all right. Well, I was not aware of that, so I'm always learning. But anyway, let's get to the story since you want to be a part of this.
Hey, you can stay in.
Yeah.
The Talking Point principal, B.J. Buchanan, had a problem with Young's revelation that he is gay. Okay. Well, gay, again, what does this have to do with academia? What does that have to do with your academic achievements because of your proclivity for a certain sexual lifestyle?
But now let me understand this. The school said that that's a problem?
No, he wanted to make his speech about him being gay.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Young's planned to discuss his sexual orientation publicly for the first time during his speech. So typically, your valedictorian speech has to do with your achievements and your accomplishments, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera.
But supposed to be relatable for everybody.
Exactly. But because of his proclivity for being gay or, you know, his lifestyle choices or however you want to phrase it.
Okay.
He wanted to make his speech about him being gay.
All right.
And they said no.
I'm with the school.
I'm with the school.
Okay, now here's the thing where I side with majorities. Minorities, you got to start picking your battles. Because, okay, discrimination exists. We all know this. There's lots of shitty stuff that people do to, you know, any kind of minority, whether it's, you know, black people or gays or, you know, women or whatever. There's all kinds of you know, institutionalized roadblocks that are put up for these, you know, anybody, you know. But at the same time, when you try to lock every perceived slight into the category of discrimination, it cheapens the whole thing.
Agree?
Well,
so
but
you got this guy that wants this guy wants to make his valedictorian speech all about him and how he's gay, and when they don't want him to do it, it's suddenly an anti-gay agenda.
Yeah.
Well, in my viewpoint, in my experience, when it comes to valedictorian speeches, this has to do with your academic achievements and what you want to do for the future, etc. This doesn't
It's
have
not even really supposed to be about you.
Well, again, but this has to do with, again, achievements and you know, looking forward. But this isn't the forum to come out as gay.
Right. But that he's making it that way, and they tell him no.
Yeah, they told him no.
It suddenly becomes an issue. Well, you won't let me say what I want to say because you don't like that I'm gay.
No, that's not what it is. I mean, that's his issue, but
I know that's his issue. That's what I'm saying. He's trying to make it an issue that the school doesn't like gay students,
right?
Or the school has some sort of anti-gay policy,
right?
That he's making it that way. You got to start, you know, choosing what you're going to get so pissed off about.
Yeah. I think the school should just stop fag shaming him.
Okay, fine.
All right, let me get to the story here. Colorado senior, let's see here. We already got that. The Talking Point principal, B.J. Buchanan, had a problem with Young's revelation that he is gay. Young planned to disclose his sexual orientation publicly for the first time during his speech. All right, not the forum for this.
How brave.
Not the forum. My main theme is that you're supposed to be respectful of people, even if you don't agree with them, Young told the Denver Post on Thursday. I figured my gayness would be a very good way to address that. No, this isn't about your choices in life as far as your sexual orientation. All right.
And as far as it being a choice, it's kind of it's getting harder and harder to sustain that argument in the face of there's over 450 species where scientists have observed gay behavior.
Right. Well, regardless of that, but this is not the place to come out.
Right. Absolutely.
This is not the forum for this. Young,
and I guess we're supposed to be really surprised. I bet half the student body isn't surprised at all.
No, they probably knew that all along.
And the other half don't even know who the fuck he is.
Yeah, but again, the people like this always want to make some kind of a spectacle in a public forum that isn't it isn't conducive to this.
And they latch onto the advocacy bandwagon, and they just kind of cheapen the whole thing because they want to make every little thing into an issue of discrimination when it really isn't.
Nope.
So people like you guys end up getting desensitized, and every little thing, every news story that crosses the desk that's discrimination. It's like the automatic first reaction is, oh well, that's not real. It's just somebody. Oh well, Where's my brand flakes?
Young sent a copy of his speech to the school administrators, who returned it to him with requested changes, most of which Young said he made. But when it came to omitting his sexual orientation, Young drew the line. I told him.
Okay, now my question is this: Did he is like, so far the article is making it seem like the whole speech is about him being gay. Now I'm wondering if he maybe just makes a passing reference to it.
Well, let's see what he has to say. I told him I'm not going to remove the part where I say I'm gay because because I am. It's important to me, said Young.
Yeah, but it's not important to the other 300 fucking kids that are graduating with you, dickweed. No one cares who you fuck. Talk about your fucking academic.
Did he just say it one time, or is the whole speech about him being gay?
Doesn't matter. It's not relevant to the topic. The topic of a valedictorian speech is what you've been through academically and what you're moving on to next. That's it.
Sure.
Not fucking, I'm gay and therefore anything. No. He doesn't get to say it, period.
Adding insult to injury, the principal also called Young's parents to let them know about the problem with the speech. And in doing so, they outed the 18-year-old to his mother and his father.
Like he was going to do the same thing.
So that's not a problem. He was going to do it anyway.
But he blew his cover.
Oops.
My parents are very liberal. I think they were totally okay with it, said Young, but I was not okay with it.
He wanted to tell him on his terms.
He stole my thunder, god damn it.
This kid is a spoiled douchebag.
Right.
That's what I'm getting out of this.
I'm actually agreeing with you.
Yeah. The administration's unsympathetic treatment ultimately left Young's speechless at May 16th graduation. According to Young, he was only informed that his speech was canceled minutes before the ceremony, and he was further dismayed that the school declined to even mention his academic achievements during commencement event.
Now, that might be a little bit of revenge.
Well, perhaps, but the thing is this kid had the opportunity to go up there and talk about his academic achievements, but he wanted to make it about his coming out.
Yeah.
So you get all or none.
What he should have done is just change the script the way they wanted to, and then just go off script.
No, he wasn't going to stand for that. It's just like, I got to mention I'm gay in here, and if I can't, then I don't want to do it at all.
Well, have fun sitting home, dickhead.
The school board issued a statement Thursday saying that it was well within its right to censor Young's speech in order to protect the solemnity. Wow, I didn't even know that was a word, of the evening, and to preserve and protect the mission of the school, adding that references to personal matters of sexual nature are never appropriate for a speech at a graduation ceremony. I agree with that.
It's true. There's a Supreme Court decision that says that high school kids don't have the same rights to freedom of speech. I know this because I was on the newspaper staff and I got my own newspaper column censored back in the 90s.
Well, but see, here's the thing.
You'll like this. I got censored because I made jokes about Bill Clinton.
Well, here's the thing. Freedom of speech only applies that the government cannot censor you. Not that an entity cannot censor you.
Sure.
And people don't...
I think the argument is that a public school is sort of an arm of the government.
Well, absolutely. But I don't think this was a public school. I think this was a charter school. And that's not public. That's actually privately owned.
Sure. I didn't catch the name of the school. So.
Let me roll back here and look at it real quick. The name of the school was...
Wasn't the Lifeways Christian School?
No. Let's see here.
God, I wish it was Mikey's school.
Let's see here. It was a charter academy high school. It was Twin Peaks Charter Academy High School.
Yeah, so he has no leg to
So
stand.
that's not a public school. It's
named after a bad TV show.
Yeah, but it's not a public school. It's a charter school.
Sure.
So they have the right to censor your speech or whatever, because it is not a governmental.
But even if it was a public school, they'd still have the right.
Right. So anyway, the school's attorney, now we got legal involved here.
Brother.
Barry Arrington added that graduation is not the time for a student to use his commencement speech to push his personal agenda on a captive audience.
Yeah, pal.
The school's treatment of Young is not an isolated incident. It's almost 70% of the LGBT students report instances of verbal harassment and bullying in school. As many as 56% of the LGBT students reported discriminatory practices based on their sexual orientation or identity, according to the Gay, Lesbian, and Straight Education Network 2014 report. While his school's graduation ceremony has come and gone, Young will have a chance to give his speech on his own terms. Out Boulder, an LGBT advocacy group, is providing him with a supportive venue in which to deliver his speech on Sunday. No revisions required.
So the spoiled, entitled fucking prick thinks that he's fucking right because now he gets to make his little speech anyway.
Yeah, but he gets to make it in front of people who are supportive of that thing, and it's not a institutional.
This fucking spoiled brat is going to have the worst time in the real world.
Yeah. Because it's all about me, man.
Unfortunately, I agree. He's basically being thrown a sympathy bone here by having an audience. Okay, don't worry about it. We'll listen to your little talk.
Right.
And he doesn't know he's being patronized.
Well, no, because he's just a part of the agenda.
Yeah.
Well, we agree with you, man. You could come talk at our gathering.
I'll tell you what.
Whatever.
Just if it makes him feel any better, he can come on the CMS and present to our audience if he'd like to. Uncensored.
Would you go all through it?
Yeah, exactly.
Life is so unfair.
Yeah, man.
How much of the 70% of LGBT students who've experienced harassment or discrimination really have, or if they just think they have?
Probably most think they have.
Back to what I was saying about picking your battles and cheapening the legitimate gripes with stuff like this.
Sure. But again, it's everybody these days is agenda driven. Stop saying retard, man. I got a Down syndrome kid at home. Stop saying that.
You know there was harassment of gay people and people that were thought to be gay.
Of course.
We beat them silly.
Absolutely.
I mean, we said nasty things to them. Nothing, Doghouse? Come on. All right, is it time to go yet?
Almost.
I guess.
I gotta go.
Time for me to go. Fuck you, pal.
He's the lucky one. He can punch out.
Right.